Okay, good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, who's here? Say hello. Right, I'll try and wake up. Made the first mistake of the stream, which was to switch it off, push the wrong button. I'll bit play whilst waiting. Oh, hi there, Gramps. How you doing? Do I? I don't know who he is. Who is he? Benjamin Orr. Alright, the cars. Right. What I should do is I should do a stream called Licks That I Forget. Because that's one thing I learn, like, absolutely tons and tons of stuff. Like, every day I try and learn, like, new things. And I do then forget. A lot of it doesn't get, like, deployed in my plane. You know, some of it's really good. So I think, should we start with a little mini guitar lesson, something really simple? I'll see who's on here. So I made a complete mess of the stream this morning. So I went on, everything was ready, and then just as I was about to go on, I pushed the wrong button. It said go live. It didn't actually. The button didn't change over. But anyway, I missed the other button. Pressed the wrong button and switched the whole thing off. Hi, Perplexity. How you doing? So, Gramps, have you got your guitar there handy? I'm gonna demonstrate a couple of arpeggios and then have a quick jam with them. Because they're quite easy to do. Anyway, B minor. So anybody who's on here who hasn't been on here before, if you could give me a sub, that would be absolutely amazing. Oh, brilliant. That's all right. Cool. Love it. And you're ready. Yeah, so anybody, like, thumbs, I like, a thumbs up and subscribe. But here's my my gift to the guitar world. Right, so we're in B minor, okay? And this arpeggio is really cool because there's a few we're going to play. And the first one is this. So basically what we've got is we've got the note B on the 5th string, and we've got B, and then we've got C sharp and D. Okay, so that's the first bit. And we can pick it if you want, or you can hammer it on. It's up to you. Right, and then the next bit is we're going to bar on the 4th string across 4 and strings 4 and 3 with the first finger. And then we'll just repeat this bit up an octave. So we've got... And then we'll just go up an octave and repeat the same thing. And that neatly puts us into a position 1. It's a little bit more trickier coming down. And it's quite handy to pick as well. But I would economy pick it, so we're going down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Okay? Right, Gramps is the test. Did you follow direction okay there, Gramps? So I'll play it slowly again. So, bar on the 4th, and that's it. Right, so once you got that, we can do a pentatonic version. So, same thing again, but instead of going, we're going to do this. Bit of a stretch there. Oh, slow. We're going 1, 3, 4, bar. 1, 1, 3, 4, bar, bar, 3, 4. And we've got one more. And it's this one. Actually, there's 2 positions you can play this in. No, not there. Just want to fit around the pentatonic. So we can go to the note E on the 5th string. And it's just basically that. It's so we're going, well, you can finger it either 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 4. I'm never sure what I'm doing on this, but anyway. So we can go 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. Sorry, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 4 bar. 1, 2, 4 bar. 2, 4. Or you can do it with your 3. I think that's easier actually. Yes, I'm ready, Gramps. Okay, let's see how practical these are to use in a track. That's the first arpeggio. Here's the second one. Oops. Okay, third one. Okay, so here's a question. Let's have a look. I'll just make it a bit bigger. Feels like being mostly self-taught has has given me a learning block when taking lessons formally. I always redirect the teacher towards what I think I need instead of listening. All right. Okay, Gramps. So, why is that a problem? Can you tell me why that is a problem? I mean, this is a coaching session, Gramps, really. It slows down progress. So I'd need you to give me an example directly when having a lesson with a teacher actually slows down practice because you're redirecting the lesson. Right. So, I mean, the question is, you know, why do you need the field to redirect the lesson? See, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. Right, okay, it's a self-taught thing. Right, I'm coming over to here because this is a good question, this, right? There's a few things going on here. All right, sorry, Gramps. It's a self-taught thing, isn't that? I can't get any data off that. What does that mean? I feel like not listening is a problem for anyone who isn't constantly hearing for themselves recorded. Yes, listening is definitely something that you practice. Yeah, that's like definite. That's a good point. I need my monitor. But Gramps' thing is very interesting. So, so obviously, without actually being in the room with you, Gramps, I'll read between the lines here a little bit, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right. Okay, so it feels like being mostly self-taught. A feeling isn't data. Okay, that's like something that we feel inside our bodies. Okay, what lives outside our bodies, our guitar, what we're playing, the notes coming out of it, the sounds coming out of the speaker, are all things, right, that aren't a feeling. That's like something that exists. And one of the problems that we have as musicians, right, is we listen to our thoughts and feelings too much. Okay. There's in a game of music goes on about this all the time. I mean, sometimes, you know, doing an internal like review is good. Like, so for example, when I do sessions, especially writing sessions, I do that review processes, which is wins, problems, opportunities. And that is a review of myself, okay? Not really a review of the music, okay? And it's kind of based on actual data, like problems that I'm encountering. Not so much on feelings. What I am interested in, though, Grandpa, is Gramps, why you're interested in always redirecting the teacher. I've got a feeling that, you know, I'm always interested in people who are self-taught because in ways that haven't been corrupted by an education system, and a lot of the times can be like super creative, and they just kind of think, well, this is how music exists in my world and this is how I do it. And there's so many great guitarists out there who haven't been formally to college or taught or anything and just do what they're doing. I mean, look at Alan Holdsworth. I mean, he sort of, everything about his playing, I don't know how self-taught he is, but everything that he does is so unique and so down the line of his style. Okay, but why is that way? Why is Alan Holdsworth so unique? Okay, because if he turned up to a teacher, the teacher might have told him to do something different that would have completely changed the course of his guitar playing and potentially made him not Alan Holdsworth and sound like just another guitar player. All right, so there's something very important that we've got to be careful about when we're being taught, is that we do have a strong identity of ourselves as an artist. In other words, right, we are focused on making our connection to the world. And we're going to get zones of experience up, because I think that's a good model to look at. Because I think coming from the teacher perspective, this is what the teacher may not be doing, and then causing a reaction, okay, that's making you control the session, Gramps, because there's a reason why you're doing that, why you're taking control and you're redirecting the lesson. But it may be that you're not actually clear on why you're doing that. So if we can get you clear on why you're redirecting the lesson, I think that way the teachers, when you go for a lesson, they're going to be serving you, okay, more effectively. So let us have a look. So sorry guys, this is like, this is this is now a bit of a coaching session, and I think this will be very, very enlightening, and do stick with it if you can. Do give a like, because I am now live coaching Gramps. At least I hope he's going to hang around whilst we kind of look at this. And I'll come back to some of the stuff in the chat as well, because there's some all right, Turbo. So no, I don't actually play covers on here, and I would get a strike. So I'm not kind of doing that, because my primarily I stream on YouTube. But it'd be great if you could give me a follow on there and a sub. And also, it's more sort of like kind of educational in a way. I'm a music coach and what have you, and we tend to talk about music and coach, as well as playing and shredding and all that kind of good stuff. Let me come back to Graham's question. Right, so here we go. Zones of experience we have here. Now, let's have a look. So I think Gramps, possibly unconsciously, in the back of his mind, is thinking about what the meaning of what he's doing is and what I'm doing this for and the purpose. And I think the teacher may be coming down here on capabilities and focusing on his knowledge, abilities, and how do I do this? And it isn't what he's actually teaching Gramps, isn't connecting with Gramps' idea of what he actually wants to do with his musical life. Could that be a possibility, Gramps? So in other words, what you're doing, Gramps, is you're redirecting this teacher. You're redirecting you there for the skills, and he's not giving you the correct information that you're actually wanting. And I think the other thing is we worry about, when we get taught on a lesson and stuff, we worry about like how much we're learning. We only need to learn a little bit every time. We don't. You're on it. There you go. So, Gramps, what we need to do, right, because the teacher, like, to me, I'm not beating teachers up, but it's just not very exciting, is it? Like, this is way more exciting, because everybody, what we're going to experience here is Gramps is going to get clarity on his lessons, and he's going to go to a teacher, right, and that teacher is now going to be the teacher will love the lesson because he'll be going, wow, Gramps is such an artist. He's got this clear direction, and I can like help him, and I can model all these skills, and I can look where the skill deficits are, and we can like bolster that up to like help Gramps connect with the world, okay, more effectively. So what you need to do, Gramps, is you need to get clear on why you're doing what you're doing. What am I doing this for? And the purpose. Sorry, I'm just pouring my coffee. All right. So there's a free write you can do, and I think you've done this before. All right, because this is like one of the major kind of problems that we have. Right. I'm going to give you 3 questions, right? Okay, and I want you to do, and everybody can do this if you want in your own time, but there is a free write we can do. I'll just take this off share 2 seconds. What is it? Music, business. Be mindset. Bear with me. Right. So 5-minute free write on this. So this is the first question, Gramps, you want to do. So find out what you want, and it's for 5 minutes. Imagine yourself making the best possible music. Describe your music as the best possible music ever. So you've got to describe it as like no limitations whatsoever. Okay? If there's any spelling mistakes, I have dyslexia and I go beyond the spell check sometimes. So that's the first free write. Second free write is about money, believe it or not. This is all to do with a connection. So money, business sides of things. Just imagine your ideal music career beyond what you think is possible, all right? Beyond what you can imagine. And then they've got some prompts here. What are you doing? Where are you? Who are you with? All right, and then we've got the really important one. So this is the real important bit for you, Gramps, to do. Mindset. Okay, behavior, skills, habits. What do you do? Right, sorry, mindset, skills, behaviors, and right. So the question is, how would you have to change, okay, to achieve all the above? How would you have to change? So what skills to achieve your ideal music and business would you have to change? So there's a list all kind of jammed in there. So we've got what habits, what skills, what beliefs, what approaches, things to consider. The formatting's been lost off my docs, by the way, so it looks a bit crap. So just to recap, on the free write, you're going to firstly write about and describe your ideal music. How does it sound? What are you doing? What are you playing? What instruments are happening around you? Imagine your ideal music career. What are you doing? Who are you with? Who are you working with? Who have you employed? And then mindset. So mindset behaviors. What habits, how would you have to change to achieve the above? How would you have to change? All right, Gramps, does that help? Now, by doing that free write, okay, what we're trying to do is we're getting more clarity on this top level. And when you've got more clarity on there, you'll have more understanding of what skills you're wanting a teacher to teach you. And you'll also be able to curate what teacher you want to go to. You might think, well, I want to do this particular technique. I might go to some, a top guitarist, like a really well-known one, because they're often teaching, aren't they? And you might want to go to them to learn it. It actually might be a music production thing. You might want to go somewhere else for that. You might even want to come and join a coaching group with me, or even have a lesson or more coaching sessions. But ultimately, you're trying to get clarity on this top level. Absolutely brilliant. So, and that's why, when we come back to Grams, it's like, I don't know how to learn. And if you don't know how to learn, it's probably because you don't have clarity on what you need to learn in order to serve the purpose of why you're learning, why you're doing music. As artists, we all lose clarity. And I've lost clarity on there and have to do this free write to audit my thoughts and feelings to keep me sort of on track. So, hi Ozabald, if I didn't say hello before. Betel Rock, I should say. How are you doing? There are a few people, if any, who have gone down the rabbit hole of music through the lens of guitar, as Alan Holdsworth. Absolutely. But I really think, like Alan Holdsworth, the reason he does what he's doing, and was doing that and was so unique, is because he had a clear idea of what his connection was, and he completely and utterly served that purpose in every way and didn't deviate. Right, I'm going to come back over to the main window. Hi Josh, how you doing? Good to see you on here. Just move myself over. All right. Spectacular. Love it. What a great word. Right. So that was an excellent question by Gramps. Really good. Has anybody else got anything that they want to ask along those lines? And has anybody else basically got anything from that? I'd be interested to know. Anybody else got any sort of identification? Because at the end of the day, teachers are there to serve, aren't they? And for them to be more effective, it's helpful. When you've been playing a bit for a while and you have an idea of kind of the style that you're wanting, thinking about how a teacher can help you serve that idea. That's important. All right. already set this, haven't you? Right. There we go. Thanks, Josh. See you soon. Hi, Stelly. Let's have a look at the chat. Alright, so we've got some stuff in from Gramps. This is brilliant. Right, let's have a look. So those of you just been on here, bit of an impromptu coaching session happening with Gramps here. And here we have, I think, some of the stuff from his free ride. Okay, so Josh, I came in a bit late, but we'll rewatch this. Gramps' comment resonated with me a bit, so I'm curious to catch more of the response on a later rewatch. Yeah. And hey Zed, how you doing? Haven't seen you on here for a bit. Finally got some time off, otherwise I'd be in bed now. Right, Gramps. We've got hold on, I want to move this down a bit. There, see my face a bit better. Right. Best possible music to improvise over hardcore jazz standards music career, play with other musicians and have music times change to be the whole lot braver and confident. Cool. We're going to refine the free writing though. So Josh, nice. I have to call it a night soon, sadly. Have an early appointment to make any sweet new tunes. Cool. Good morning, Stelly. So Josh, I'm just going to let this play while I doze off. Brilliant. Bed tunes with Hutch. And there we go. Hell yeah, Zed. Your stuff is fun to jam with. It's absolutely brilliant, Zed. Maybe I should put out some backing tunes like MH Dream Street. I think that would be a good idea, Zed. And then I'll jam on them. You should. Some faces there. Okay. Anyone using native instruments, not really just the free thing if I need to run something interesting. Alright, so Gramps, that's really good on the free write. So when you were free writing, I don't know if you probably did it properly, right? Because I'm sure you've done. I probably wasn't clear enough. Right, so everybody the questions are in this post, so anybody who is wanting to get more kind of clarity where they're with their connection with the world in terms of their music, why they're doing something, and what to do next, then, this exercise is a really good one, and the questions are in the chat. But in order to do it, we have to do what is called free writing. Free writing, there's a book called Accidental Genius about this, and free writing is something that I use all the time to get clarity on my situation and to work out, what direction I'm going to move in. Can't remember who the author is. I always forget his name. I'll look it up now. Mark Levy. So Accidental Genius by Mark Levy. So what a free write is basically I'll give somebody a question, and then what they've got to do is just literally, without editing, write as fast as they possibly can. Now, the best way to do this is just to use pen and paper, and you're just going to scribble your thoughts. So some of your thoughts might be completely irrelevant to the question. It could be something quite negative. It could be just like complete and utter, like, oh, this is crap. Why is Hutch asking me to do this absolutely rubbish exercise? This isn't going to get me any clarity. And you might find like lots of rubbish stuff kind of comes out at first, but then eventually sort of things will start happening, and more useful information will come out. But you'll find sort of a lot of that first lot of information comes out tends to be conscious thinking. So if we think about our levels of thinking, we have conscious and we have unconscious. So the conscious stuff will come out first. But what we're trying to do, the reason we're using free writing, is to get to the subconscious, and that's where all the good stuff, where described by Robert Greene in The Inner Game of Music, that's where all the limitless possibilities are. And that's why we're using free writing, because we're trying to get to the stuff in our head that's kind of just sitting down there and being ignored. I'll tell you what you need. That reminds me. Yeah, right. So, Osrebold, before going off to Neural DSP, you do need to go to Polychrome DSP. Polychrome DSP, very important. You want to try their stuff. That's the guitar stuff I use. Okay, I play through all Polychrome. Every guitar sound you hear in here is like Polychrome. I absolutely love Polychrome. It's everything I've ever wanted in amp. Easy to use, sounds amazing, and does everything. They have two flavors of amp. They have the Kiesel Hyperrig, which is what I'm using for my lead tones. For my more ambient stuff and clean stuff, I'm using. It's honestly, there's a free trial, and it's way better. The other thing that they do is they have like the guitar plugins come in with pitch, and their pitch algorithm's the best in the world, and it's absolutely amazing, and they're really reasonably priced, and I think there's like a massive offer on them as well. So do try it out. And the team are absolutely brilliant, because obviously it's the guy I'm in a band with, McRocklin Thomas. And they're just wonderful, and it's just a great. It's been great watching him kind of grow and his team grow that business. It's been amazing. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. That was the commercial break, and what was I talking about? You've totally gone. Right, I was talking about finding your... so getting into the subconscious, visualization, yeah. And that's where all the sort of great ideas happen. But the rule of the free writers is you have to keep writing. So even if you run out of things to say, you just got to keep your pen on the paper and keep, like, scribble or write the last letter of a word or till something comes out. And then when you've done that, then you can start pulling out all the information from that's going to be really insightful and inspiring. And when I free write, I always come away really, really excited. So, Gramps, I'm not saying that you didn't do that, and this might be just, but we've got a few things coming across here. So, improvising over hardcore jazz standards. What I'd like to know is, I would like you to describe exactly what's going in. What is a hardcore jazz standard? What notes are being played? What's the emotion? What possible scales are there? And if you don't know, just guess. But more of a detailed explanation, because we've got hardcore jazz standards and we've got improvisation. Playing with other musicians and have magic times. That's something you can have straight away. To be a whole lot braver and confident. So, the bravery and confidence is, it's like, well, God, where do we start with that one? But I sat for ages not doing these streams. Great, brilliant. Thanks, Gramps. I knew you'd do that. Brilliant. I'd love to see more detail on describing the music, though. I mean, it would be great to just have another free write on that and really go wild with what you hear. Because maybe there's the next sort of like Alan Holdsworth framework about to appear from that. So, in terms of confidence, I sat for ages not really doing the live streaming thing. I thought about it. I overthought it. I tried to plan it. And then it just occurred to me that the only way to actually do it would be just to start. So I had a really shitty webcam, and we moved house here. And then I decided just to do what I would do is I would just put the webcam on and just stream me making music. That was it. Because I wasn't playing guitar. I was as much. I was doing the odd sort of solo and stuff and playing on the odd track on McRocklin Hutch, but primarily I was producing, writing all the music. So I thought, well, it'd be great. People can just like dead mouse. People can just tune in and watch me in the studio. So there I was with this like shitty webcam, looked awful, actually in this room, and it'll be there on my YouTube channel, and just awful. No personality. Couldn't really talk about anything. Very dry, very, very boring. And stream was doing good during the pandemic, yeah. And then, like, basically, I mean, in the pandemic, I was the only musician probably with a job, right? I was like, basically, I do music. I'm a therapeutic musician, right, for the NHS, which is the basically hospitals. So it's like a music therapist, really. And so I was working with patients all the time, every day, with mask on and PPE'd up to the eyeballs. And eventually, like 18 months into the pandemic, I eventually got like COVID. And luckily for me, I didn't really have any symptoms. I was feeling okay. So I just ended up in this basement isolating. And luckily, I had, like, Thomas had sold me his first camera used for school at McRock, so I had that, and then I just kind of went around the room and found a good angle, and then I set up the live stream properly, and then all that was about is just incrementally improving things. But the main thing was in gaining confidence here, because I'm rambling and I know it. The way that I gained confidence was through exposure. It was just getting up every day and doing it. Do you guys hear something different or new when you hear other music played? Yeah, I tend, like, whenever I hear things, I'm always like analyze it and then pulling a little idea out. So incrementally, things will change, and like there'll be new techniques, new note choices, new sequences of notes that appear in my playing as I go along. So, I mean, my playing's changed quite a bit over the last sort of like year and two, because in order to play what I've wanted to play, it's I've had to stretch myself and do things like economy picking and hybrid picking to be able to sort of expand my playing. So hybrid picking to doing more wide interval, more legato-y kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's really so I was talking about this yesterday. So there's a couple of modes that I have in my head. So obviously I can hear the scales in my head, right? Especially the pentatonic. So you can clearly hear like a pentatonic scale, and then once you've got that, there's 5 notes that you know. So you're gonna know those 5 notes, aren't you? And then it's just, it's just a question of introducing other notes. That's how I hear it. So I can hear that very clearly. And then, you know, then I have favourite notes I like. I really love nines. So, oops. Very different sound. So I can hear that 9 notes, so now I've got 6 notes, haven't I? And then there's the avoid note, but you can phrase around it and make it sound good. So that note, when you land on that, it's in tune, so oh, what's going on? But you can kind of phrase around it and make it sound good. And then, so there'll be those individual notes that I can hear. I should put a track, I should put this thing on, shouldn't I? Put this on. Where are we? Right. So I can clearly hear so that's all pentatonic. So we can train our ears to hear that, and we can hear melodies within that framework. And the other thing is just listening to like vocalists, especially neo soul stuff. Like, you know, I listen to that and get little phrasing ideas from that. But then we can add the 9th in, so that's going to give us 6 notes. So I can clearly hear all of that in my head, right? But then when you get onto the more shreddy stuff, then it's more, each bit of shred is like a word. That's how I was describing it yesterday. But I get familiar with those licks, you know? Let's get on to shred sound. So I'll just try and do some shredding. So something like that, I can hear that shape, that contour. And I can hear it in context of usually where it should come in. So like there, and again I'm familiar, I know the sound of those arpeggios. So I can sort of hear the contour of that. And that's really how I kind of work with it. sort of the idea. So just, when you're playing with stuff, is you're trying to memorize the notes and the note configurations, and then you're trying to improvise and then figure out how you can fit it all together and trying to hear it all. Hi Ergo, how you doing? How's it going? Coffee time. It's my last one. It's my thermos flask done, innit? Right, so has anybody else got any sort of questions they'd like to ask me, especially coaching ones like Gramps? Right, I'm gonna switch over to the other camera here. All right. Very good. Take my chat with me. Yeah, there's a couple of good things in the stream. There's a few good highlights in it. So one of them, the main one, is Gramps' brilliant question, which was just absolutely excellent. It's just the kind of thing I love being asked. So hopefully, the little bit of coaching I've done this morning's really helped him. I think it has. There's a little guitar lesson I did, like just a few very handy sort of arpeggios, which I kind of use but forget to use. So yeah, here. So yeah, do watch it through. The other thing is, anybody here who isn't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. Really important, and do give me like thumbs up and stuff like that, because it's really helping. I need to get up to 1,000 subscribers, which would be amazing. Just like, not that it's going to change anything in my life, but actually it'll make me feel really, really good. Right, that like I'm into like 4 figures rather than 3. It also means that, the more people I have, more people watching, the more watch time I'll get, and therefore I'll be able to monetize this channel. I mean, I could anyway. I could set a Patreon up and stuff like that and like donate it, but it's something. It would be nice to have like just like the super chat thing. I'd quite like that. I quite like it when sort of that sort of stuff's happening on Thomas's channel. Saying that, people may not want to donate, but it doesn't matter. The other thing, if you're new on here, just think of this channel as a resource, so you can ask me questions. If I don't know, I'll just say I don't know. But there's lots of things happening on here. There's obviously lots of guitar playing, lots of music production. Just anything you want is at your fingertips. But do ask and then see what what happens. So Gramps, let's have a look at what Gramps has said. Yeah, just talking about this stuff made me fully awake and energized. Don't stop noodling right now. There you go. So that's brilliant, and that's what I love about coaching. Is it really it gets you out of the slump? It gets you energized and it gets you fired up and it gets you excited. And like, how much is that worth? Gramps has got all of that for free, just by asking that question. He's also got me energized and exciting, because the whole coaching thing is just, 100% that's what the world needs. We need more of the coaching thing. Absolute information overload out there, okay? You can learn lick after lick after lick, and at the end of the day, right, that's not going to get you clarity on your position or how you're going to connect with the world yourself in your own unique artistic way, is it? It's just more information, and that information is all of it's like really based on solving problems that you haven't had yet. How do you keep from playing jazz when you shred? How do you keep from playing jazz? Just don't listen to any jazz. It's a good question, that, actually, because I'm in a situation where I'm definitely a rock player, but because I do the legato thing and use various techniques, it enables me to play a lot of other stuff, right, that I wouldn't normally been able to play. And I think one thing is sort of now I've got, plenty of sort of technical stuff under the hood. It's now about just being fluent in improvising. And then sort of when that kind of comes together, which it is quite nicely, I mean, I'm not saying I'm amazing, then you start thinking, right, I'm at the stage now where I get bored of it. So I have to think of, how am I going to spice up my playing? Well, live looping's a brilliant one, But then what about the actual improvisations that I'm doing? And what that's led me down to the road of chromatic playing, So I just love doing chromaticism. And it's like a thing, and it takes a little bit of working into your playing, Let's do some. So yeah, I mean, the latest thing for me is just adding a lot of chromaticism into my playing. That's a good little phrase. We're in B minor. And sometimes I'll go, like, a lot of the time, being a rock player, I'm kind of getting the flat 5 there, but I quite like sliding with my first finger into it. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm starting to daydream there. Yeah, sounds great. It's a swing style bebop almost. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so, and it's just like I've worked in the layers of that. So when you think about it, it's like what I'm saying before, the question about hearing the notes. Like you can hear your pentatonic scale, you can hear, then the next layer is adding the ninth to me. And this is my approach. And then, you got your minor sixth or whatever, void note. And then the next thing is like the notes in between, So for example, like, if you look at the pentatonic scale, and one of my favourite notes is the ninth, why not slide into it? So that's that one. So start sliding into the 9, end on the 7th. So we need to know the intervals. Ending on a 5th. So, depending, I think a lot of it is depending on how you want to create your tension depends on sort of what note you want to end on. I mean, I find the 9th's very melodic. So that's like when I'm getting bored of pentatonic, I'll go to the 9th, and then if I'm a bit bored of everything else, then I'll start putting chromatic stuff in. But then we have notes like the 5th. And that 5th resolves really nicely, doesn't it? It's almost like the root. Very little tension. If we're wanting to, so that's great for like an answer phrase. Question phrases. If we're ending on maybe the 4th, so we're in B minor, like on the 5th, it kind of makes you want to hear the question again or resolve to the answer. So you can keep people sort of hanging on that. Let's try it. It's not finished, is it? It's never. That is. And that's all I'm doing, just messing with different sort of tensions, But I think that's probably the lesson for next week, isn't it? So I think we'll do something on, how I approach improvisation. I'm always looking at sort of like improvisational lessons and so I could probably do a condensed version of what research I've done into it. It is. It's such a young. Right, this is important as well. So, and I'll end on this note. Right. And I think some of you regulars will know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to the secret garden now. Yes, YouTube is an absolutely powerful tool and is incredible. But what we've got to remember, okay, is one, we've got such access to all this information. What we don't want to be doing is like skating on the top of it all. We need to go deep. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is you've got to remember YouTube, right, is full of, everybody in the music world, like everybody everywhere, just solving problems that we haven't encountered. In order for us to be a unique musician and to be successful at that, okay, and to create music, you know, and push the envelope, and because primarily we have to create something that's unique. If you make something unique or just slightly different, okay, you're the only provider of that. That means you're going to have, the fans are going to love you and they're going to follow you, and that's what you want. There's so much wallpaper music out there, okay. We don't need any more of that, okay. But what we do need is interesting music. Not music that's professional sounding. That's the other one. That's a quality judgment, okay? The quality we want is different, exciting ideas, okay? Not perfectly well produced, amazing, you know, wallpaper music. Definitely not. So what we do need to do is like what's happened with Gramps, and I think this has probably been one of the most important live streams ever, is that we need clarity on what our connection to the world is. You know, through much soul searching, I realised just for now my connection to the world is kind of helping everybody and running this channel, but still being creative and still writing music, but allowing people to come in, ask questions, and serving. And that is absolutely, you know, totally free of charge. However, I do run a coaching business, so if anybody wants to join one of my coaching groups, you can do that, and you can learn to make absolutely massive amounts of music and do this. If you're wanting just one-to-one coaching, we can do that as well, and if you're wanting lessons, then we can do that. But if you're not doing any of that, and you know money's an issue and stuff like that, it doesn't matter, because you can come here and you know we can make some progress. You can ask me stuff, and I've had a long music career, and I've never ever had to have a job that wasn't music, and I've been through it all, right? And I'm a full-time working musician as well, and I've got like a wonderful, super creative job, you know, that I do every day, and it just like, you know, that also empowers all the stuff that I do here, massively helps my playing and the way that I approach music. But you know, just coming on here and trying to get clarity is probably one of the most beneficial moves you could probably get from this channel. Because if you know what you're wanting to do, if you know what your next move is, that is the key to success, basically, is knowing what to do next. And then being brave enough to do it, you know, having like what Gramps was saying, getting the confidence. And sometimes you just, you know, when you talk to somebody and you ask those questions and you get coached, you become so energized that you're not so bothered about being underconfident. It's just the idea is so good, you have to do it, you know. And that's the way forward with it, you know. I've been through all that. I've been through the procrastination thing. Like as I was saying, even though I've been coached myself, this channel was part of that. And then at the end of the day, I just realised, just like everything else, like releasing music, it's exposure. It's doing it. If you do something, whether it's wrong or right, it doesn't matter to me. It's producing data, you know, something that exists outside of my body that I can analyse. And if I can analyse something that I've done, then I can create a way forward. Then I know what I'm doing. So that's the other thing. And we can guess as much as we want, you know, but at the end of the day, you just got to go out there naked, and that is it, and get used to it. So, been a great live stream, everybody. I'm going to go and have my morning walk now around the park before I then get on. I've got a huge amount of playing today to do. I'm quite excited about it. And some music to write as well, but with other people. So it's been great. Fascinating channel. Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm taking a coaching approach, not like a teaching approach. There's a big difference, and the difference is this, simply that I'm primarily interested in facilitating the skills that people already have. Not so much, although I have been doing it lately, as installing skills. There's plenty of people installing skills, right? But we need people who can help people then facilitate the skills, like Gramps, get clarity on the situation, and then implement. Oh, I hate that word, implement or execute those ideas in their world. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next stream, which will be Monday. Well, fingers crossed it'll be Monday, but that's what I'm aiming for. All right, then. Bye, everybody.